Let's look closely at the 95% group presentation file. First of all, is what you see is every time you log in, you'll get the presentation file that you choose. Here, this is lesson 11 of kindergarten. And one of the things you'll notice that is that here on the side is the navigation. So here you're able to show either your day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You can open that to be able to navigate to where you want to see a page for the workbook or reading sentences if for some reason you were interrupted. You don't have to just go through the entire lesson. The way that you navigate through the lesson is by pushing the next. So here you start with phonological awareness. There is no pop-up here because phonological awareness is done orally, so you'll be looking at that straight from your teacher manual and being able to put those pieces together. The students do this, it takes around 2 minutes, which is in your teacher manual. Here they're teaching the letter J, so they're using the card, it shows up. When I click next, we also are doing the handwriting portion called letter formation, and so we're putting that together. There's a workbook page in which the kids will write that in. And here are those reading phrases. So here you can point and show what kids should be reading, and these are also in their student text. You can ask them to put their finger on this little symbol here so that they can get ready to read. Then there's another page represented in the workbook, more reading sentences, more workbook pages. Here's a writing phase. Here are more the student answers for them to write, where they will look at the strawberry and you'll lead them through. High frequency words, and it closes with a phonological warm-up. And that is a lesson for the day. Here we see an example of the second grade presentation file. Here again we see the navigation bar. And so if we wanted to see, say, a day 2 of this lesson, we again would start with the phonological warm-up. It looks the same. We would go then to how they are working with these patterns and gestures. There will be pop-ups that come in here, which is why you need to look at how your pop-ups work in your planning. So here, the syllable type is a vowel team. The pattern is 2 or more letters side by side that are pronounced as one vowel sound. And this is the gesture, 2 fingers together. So then we would have the vowel team that is the targeted sound of I, and how it's spelled, and then what it is represented. And here, the next vowel team represented as that O. So the phonics pattern, then they'd start to read the words. Here you would lead them through that, doing some of those I do, we do, and that is directed through your lesson. And notice that every time I click next, there is a new piece that comes up. Here you see the word cloak as that target word. You see I for night, O for oat, or no, it doesn't go in the column. So here they are starting to sort those words. Here's the I do, where you're saying I identify the vowel first, which is the routine that is seen in red. You identify that vowel first. Then you decide, is it I or O, or is it a non-example? And so in the student workbook, those same things go there because this is in the student workbook, and you would then be able to go through that. You can do that as a we do or a you do, depending on what the students are ready for. In day 2, most of the time it is a we do. So here the next word was flight, light, clock, road, road, sight, boat, right, grown, sight, and now moving into the sound spelling mapping. And so right here, you'll see that these will move. So we're saying the word, we're putting a dot in each box, and then moving our chips to represent that. And these are color-coded to the pattern, and then we are marking that. Here is our vowel, that's why we have that yellow there, and these are our consonants. And that is how we are doing that sound spelling mapping with the chips. And you'll be doing more of this, and you'll see that go through. Students will go to their workbook, and then it will also give you an answer key. So here is what the answer key should look like, and they have that here. The color coding for your chips is in pages 1 through 12 of your teacher manual in Manual 1. And then you always end with that passage reading in grades 1 through 3. In grade K, you don't start with passage reading at the beginning of the year, but it will move to sentence and small passage reading by the end of the year. So that is in your student workbook. Then they will also go to those comprehension, and this is the answer key that would lead you through. And that is the setup of how these presentation files work with the 95% group teacher manual.